Wildlife SOS in India received an urgent report about a male elephant being held in illegal captivity. This was a clear violation of Indian law, yet legal delays stretched the case for months. Bureaucratic red tape, conflicting interests, and logistical challenges threatened to stall the mission indefinitely. However, amidst the slow-moving legal system, one fact remained undeniable. The elephant was suffering every day, and every moment counted. Fortunately, the right people were on the job. Kartik Satyanarayan, one of Wildlife SOS's most experienced rescuers, took the lead in this high-stakes mission. Throughout his career, he had encountered many desperate animals, but this particular case would push him to his limits. Armed with determination and experience, he braced himself for the unexpected challenges that lay ahead. After thorough planning and intense discussions, the rescue operation was finally set in motion. Wildlife SOS was not alone in this mission. They were accompanied by a police car and 3 Forest Department vehicles. The 22-member team had been extensively briefed on the dangers ahead. With limited police backup, they knew they might have to retreat if faced with significant resistance. However, retreat was the last thing on their minds. Each member of the team had one objective: to free the elephant and end his suffering, no matter the cost. Reports indicated that the elephant, named Raju, had been captured as a baby and sold into captivity. He had spent the last 50 years in chains, suffering through neglect and abuse. While he was not trained for circus performances, he was exploited as a roadside attraction for tourists. He was often paraded through busy streets, his handlers demanding money from passers-by in exchange for a closer look. The years of abuse had left Raju malnourished, his spirit nearly broken. That night, the team was determined to change his fate and reclaim the freedom that had been stolen from him. Upon arrival at the facility, Kartik immediately sensed the grim atmosphere. He had only heard about the place before, but seeing it in person was a different experience altogether. The compound was a collection of crumbling concrete buildings surrounded by overgrown grass. The air was thick with the distant howling of stray dogs, adding to the eerie silence that enveloped the area. It was no place for an elephant. A faint, flickering glow from a cabin at the back caught his attention, the only sign of life in an otherwise abandoned-looking place. With tense, quiet steps, the team advanced in single file. At the rear, 2 police officers held flashlights and firearms, prepared for any hostility. The rescue team, however, was unarmed, carrying only medical supplies, food, and medicine. Because their focus was solely on Raju's safety, suddenly a loud voice cut through the night. A man threatened them to leave, and in an instant, a gunshot rang out. The team took cover as the officers signaled them to hold back. Hearts pounded. The mission had reached a dangerous turning point. For months leading up to the operation, Kartik had been in constant communication with AJ, the operation chief. Their discussions often turned into heated arguments. Kartik insisted that the rescue happen as soon as possible, unwilling to let Raju suffer another unnecessary day in chains. AJ, however, prioritized bureaucratic procedures over urgency, nearly canceling the mission altogether. But thanks to Kartik's persistence, the plan moved forward. One team member had already traveled ahead by truck to ensure Raju could be transported immediately to a veterinarian. While Kartik focused on the elephant's welfare, Ajay seemed solely concerned with closing the case, causing further friction between them. However, retreat was not an option. If they pulled back now, Raju would never be freed. Eventually, the police identified the individual responsible for Raju's captivity, a mahout who exploited animals for profit. Kartik had been tracking his movements for 2 days, ensuring he wouldn't escape before the raid. The operation proved successful, with the criminals being neutralized and arrested. Finally, the team could turn their full attention to Raju. In a filthy, neglected corner of the facility, Raju stood, crouched and motionless. Kartik's heart sank at the sight. The elephant's sorrow was unmistakable. His body, once strong, was now frail. His ribs protruded beneath his rough, discolored skin. His legs were bound by tight steel chains, cutting deep into his ankles. His posture and demeanor revealed a lifetime of pain and exhaustion. The sight was unbearable. Kartik knelt beside Raju and began loosening the chains, a difficult task given the elephant's massive size. The furious owner tried to incite Raju against his rescuers, shouting commands in an attempt to intimidate him. But Raju didn't react. He had given up listening to the man who had enslaved him for decades. Kartik freed Raju's right rear leg first, then looked up to see a teammate rushing to help with the left. One by one, the chains were removed. Despite past disagreements, the entire team worked with precision and dedication to ensure Raju's safety. The moment the last shackle fell, a wave of relief washed over them. But then, something extraordinary happened. Kartik looked into Raju's eyes and saw tears streaming down his massive face. He realized at that moment that Raju understood. He was finally free. Overcome with emotion, Kartik felt tears welling in his own eyes. The suffering Raju had endured was unimaginable, but his rescue marked a new beginning. Veterinarians rushed to examine Raju, confirming he was severely malnourished. Desperate for food, he had even tried eating plastic scraps left behind by tourists. The team immediately provided fresh food, giving him a taste of kindness after years of neglect. Once stabilized, Raju was carefully loaded onto a truck, given a mild tranquilizer, and transported to a nearby elephant sanctuary. Over the following months, Raju made an incredible recovery at the care center. When Kartik visited him again, he saw a transformed elephant, strong, healthy, and finally at peace. Fed fresh fruits and vegetables, Raju regained his strength and reached a stable weight. Even the discoloration on his face and ears had improved. After 5 decades of suffering, Raju was now free, surrounded by people who genuinely cared for him. His days of captivity were over, and his future was filled with love and security. Raju's story is a testament to the power of determination, compassion, and teamwork. His rescue wasn't just about freeing one elephant, it was about fighting for justice, ensuring that no animal suffers in silence. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like the video, turn on notifications, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible rescues.